Hi, lovely viewers. This is Gloria Kamikaze with Finding Your Balance, a show about mental health, a show that touches base on the taboo topics of society, bipolar disorder, depression, a whole lot. So today on set with me, I have got the lovely Ruth Bisoboka Michell. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Thank you for coming to the show.
No.
She's a beauty queen and she's got prior experience with some of these things. We're going to dig a little into that. So before all of that, first introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi everyone.
I'm Bisoboka Ruth Michell. I'm a beauty queen in Buganda Kingdom. I'm the second runner-up Miss Tourism Buganda. I'm the social inclusion queen, Miss Tourism Buganda. And I'm also a food scientist by profession.
I'm blessed and happy to be here.
Thank you very much for coming. So today we are going to basically talk about self-image. Self-image, societal expectations of the woman, what the perfect body is supposed to be like. But before we get into that, Ruth is going to give us a little experience with something that she went through, which is also under this whole mental health topic, which is depression. So could you just take us through that, and then we just focus back on how you got where you are today?
Okay.
Because you're a survivor, yes?
Yes, I'm a survivor of depression.
Yeah, so how did this start? First take me to that. Like, how did you even realize that you were having issues with, with
My
your
mental health.
with your health in the mind?
Yeah, because I started getting depressed in 2015 when I was 16 years old.
16 years old.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't, because also for me it was like an experience I just didn't understand. My mood started getting sour, slowly by slowly. I went through something like I had never experienced.
Hold up, I'm sorry to interrupt, but your mood started changing. Did you have things that you were going through as a child? Dysfunctional family, your grades not doing well, boyfriend at a tender age, where did that come from?
I think prior to that, my family went through a very, very bad period of time. My parents lost their businesses almost at once. And on top of that, my mom became chronically sick over a long period of time. So it's like a sudden experience as a kid that you had never gone through. Out of the blue, people who had money, you no longer have any.
Before that, things were okay.
Very, very fine.
And then just one day, everything falls apart.
Falls apart. They are demanding my parents, we were so broke to a degree we had never seen and experienced, because my parents had been in a good place. Then after the blue, we are broke. We didn't even have power at home. It was that bad. And then my mom became chronically sick. My dad left home for some time trying to scrap and pull his life back together. So everything that could go crazy went crazy at that time.
I went through a cycle, the major depression up to 2022, because I even recall that day I was last suicidal. So it was a journey of ups and downs. The depression, it led me to underperform, because naturally I was a very good performer in class. I really underperformed in my secondary school, the A level, because of the depression, because I couldn't read, I couldn't concentrate in anything. Then it made me antisocial. I could hardly talk with people. I always wanted to be alone. So it basically affected my way of life overall, socially, even at home, because my parents could notice I don't want to even talk with them, I don't want to be with them. And I hardly used to have friends. And it also destroyed I think it kind of lowered my IQ, let me just put it like that, because I used to be a very good performer in class. Even university, I performed not so well because of that depression thing. So it affected my overall performance as a person.
I want you to now tell us how you recovered, because then first of all, how did you even know that it was depression? And then how did you know that it was just your mind messing with you, that you could actually recover from whatever you were dealing with? How did it go from there?
Because naturally as a person, since I was young, I loved reading. So I decided I knew something was severely wrong with me. So I decided to find out what. Started investing in reading research to find out what is a problem, how can I navigate this, and how can I come out of it. So I started reading a lot of material, listening to people who had
And how old were you when you started to read, when you started to realize that you could heal your mind yourself?
Around 16, because that's the mantra I used to always have, even when we were going through a bad period at home. I can fix myself. So that's why I used not to talk to people. I used to always have this thing, I'll always find a way out regardless of what happens to me.
Yeah.
So I decided to try out whatsoever I could reading material. Of course, you can go on YouTube and research psychologists. There is one that is like up to today my favorite. She's called Dr. Anita Phillips.
Dr. Anita Phillips.
Yeah, Dr. Anita Phillips. She's a psychologist, but also in the intersection of faith, because I'm a born again Christian. So there's this thing of like, okay, I know something about God, but how do I navigate being a Christian and being depressed? Like two things that almost seem like they cannot coordinate. That's when I got introduced to Dr. Anita Phillips, because there is a way she describes the mental health problems in the view of faith and Christianity. I had become so suicidal, but when we were young, because my mom used to take us to Sunday school a lot.
Okay.
Thank you. My mom used to take us to Sunday school a lot, and in Sunday school he told us, if you kill yourself, you're going to go automatically to hell. And the fact that I'm a believer, I just told my mind, I cannot suffer on earth and suffer in heaven as well. I recall that time that changed everything, because we had grown up as Christians. I realized, okay, now I think I have to go back to God, because this is a baseline of everything they taught us at home. So I recall it was very early in the morning. I sat on my bed in hostel. I told God, I'm not going to kill myself, because when I kill myself, you're going to judge me for killing myself and I'll go to hell for that. I told him, God, you either fix me or you kill me yourself. And that changed everything, because with that I started like my personal journey of faith and being serious with God at church. Yeah, so slowly but slowly, the more I got involved in church and becoming serious with God, the depression started lifting. Then in 2022, after that very, very bad day, I was introduced to Phaneroo. Some friend of mine invited me. And let me say, meeting Apostle Grace, though I just met him physically once, but going to Phaneroo and listening to his sermons changed.
Put your mind at ease. So you attribute your survival and your being able to deal with the depression basically on just getting close to God?
Yes, basically.
And reading.
And reading. Getting to know, like, why is this? Because those things of like, that's like in the reading you come up with those things of like daddy issues, mommy issues. I was probably on the autistic spectrum according to some of the signs I had read about, because when you read, almost a lot of people on the autistic spectrum, it depends.
And people are not even aware.
And they are not even aware.
Autism, yeah.
And when you're on the autistic spectrum, you become easily, like, you can become susceptible to become depressed.
Okay.
So probably those other things happened at home, but also that could have contributed.
Could have also triggered it.
Yes.
I think it's only understandable that a child that is plugged out of a comfort life into everyday struggle has to deal with that. That's super understandable, but I feel like she also managed to survive whatever came with it and is still surviving because she's strong-minded. Though she said people were telling her she's weak-minded, but I think she's got a strong mind. I think she's a strong girl. I think she's super beautiful, and I think she's going places. And there's 1,000 girls that are dealing with that. You could learn a thing or two from her story and understand, first of all, that you're not alone. Learn how to get close to God, because nothing beats that. And read. Reading helped her a lot. So I feel like she survived through it, and she'll continue to survive because she's got a strong mind. She's super strong-minded. Nothing beats that, especially as a woman. Because we're emotional beings. We are riddled by everyday emotions. Small things just put us off, and then you act irrationally out of emotions, which didn't affect her.
First, school me. There's models, and then there's beauty.
Beauty queens.
You're a beauty queen.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you venture into that world? Congs on that, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How I venture into the beauty queen thing. My mom is the one who made me sign up to join the beauty pageant. Someone came, because my dad is like the town mayor where I was staying.
Oh, that's so. She's a rich kid as well. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So my someone came looking for my dad. They needed some, I think, paper sign. They wanted to hold the pageant outside. They needed something for him. So my mom is like, okay, I didn't know about that pageant, but can't my girl join? Then we see if she wants him, she can join. So that's how I joined the beauty pageant.
And what competition was that?
Miss Tourism Buganda.
Miss Tourism Buganda Kingdom.
Yes.
Okay, and then you came up first.
But we go through stages, because I first went from my the county I come from. So from my county, I was the overall winner. So I'm Miss Tourism Buganda. It's called Buganda. Then after winning Miss Tourism Buganda, we had to come for the pageant for the entire kingdom. So I came, and in the entire kingdom, I ended up being second runner-up, Miss Stories in Uganda Kingdom, and I'm also a social inclusion queen, Miss Stories in Uganda Kingdom.
Girls have a certain image that they have attached themselves to.
Yes.
To be able to get likes on social media, to be able to be called hot in society. And that has led a lot of girls that cannot afford to do the things that would give them that image or even be able to get the following that they want on social media. It has made girls get depressed. Girls are doing things, unimaginable things to fit that image. Exactly. So what advice do you have for girls out there that are trying to fit the image? What advice do you have for girls that are lost in the world of social media in trying to, have the perfect look and the perfect image and ending up getting, cheap surgery that ends up botched? People are dying from getting what do they call them?
Yeah, the BBLs.
Yes, just keep reading. People are dying from the after effects of that. So what advice do you give to young girls, since you're in the beauty world and I know there's an image? You don't just get into that world, my dear. You have to look a certain way. So what advice would you have for girls when it comes to embracing their image for who they are without trying so hard to be what they're not?
Body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia.
Yeah,
when you're not comfortable with your
body.
With your body.
And you feel like you need to almost fix everything. I need to fix my
It has nothing to do with people who think I'm a girl, but I think I was born in the body of a man.
No, that's being transgender. I think they're also kind of correlating.
Okay.
Because from body dysmorphia, then you go to transgender. But most times it's body dysmorphia, and a lot of girls suffer from it. Now, for me, the example I can give, I grew up loving fashion, the fashion world, and watching those fashion TV, and you see the models because the kind of image you presented.
I think I've always had some issues with my body image because actually I'm on the chubbier side, and I used to be obsessed with wanting to be thin. Fast forward until this year, I think the one I recall mostly was my birthday photo shoot for this year. I went for the photo shoot, and when I saw the pics, I was like, what is this? I had gained a lot of weight. And then the other thing I faced about my weight was during the beauty pageant. Some people used to make some smart comments because that time I had gained a lot of weight. And people used to overly highlight it and in a very negative way. So I've struggled with my body image for a long, long time.
Most Africans can't fit that tiny, tiny kind of body image of the height.
Of the weight, yeah.
Yeah, and it's something I also suffered with up to until this year. I had to make okay, I have large hips, I have this, let me make this with myself. But it also comes to the fact where, because as long as you're not happy with yourself, you're going to always rely on the outside for validation.
Every person you saw in the magazines, be it Vogue, the famous supermodels, they are all tiny. And I wanted to so badly fit that standard. I slimmed myself a lot last year. I think I was almost anorexic because when you see some videos of me and some photos of me, I was too thin. I became so thin to a point that I became sick because of being too thin.
So everything begins with the inside. Because when you're not happy with yourself on the inside, you're going to always try to fit the narratives of society. You're going to find a thick person. When you're slim, you want to be her size. Then tomorrow you're going to find a very, very thin person. And then you feel like, I think I need to be like her. She seems happy. She seems like she has a life. So it all comes down to your inner self. And when you're not happy with yourself, the first thing you have to come down to is to be realistic. Say the truth to even yourself. I'm not happy with who I am right now. I'm not happy with where I am, because that is where the whole change begins, even with mental health. Then from that, you have to ask yourself, how can I be happy with myself? Because before becoming even a beauty queen and the pageant stuff, I used not to be on social media.
Social media, yeah.
Because I knew when I go there, I get triggered, and I have to first heal myself to a certain degree to be able to accommodate all the different types.
I know a girl that she told me she only has Facebook because, first of all, Facebook is not that visual the way Instagram is. Yes. So she says every time she logs in and she sees these girls that look like they're living their life, they have the perfect bodies, their own vacations, it depresses her. Yes. Perfect boyfriend. Well, you never really see boyfriends in those pictures. So you'd be wondering who is catering, who's taking care of all of that. So she says it depresses her. So she signed out of Instagram.
Yeah, that's one of the things I employed at the beginning, because you have to first take away the triggers for you to start, because you now get to know, okay, Instagram is my trigger. Every time I go on Instagram, I want to go on a crazy diet to lose crazy weight and look crazy and probably do a mommy makeover and stuff.
Yeah.
So you're like, let me first log out of this and first make peace with myself.
The representation of the thick black girls is not as much, and up until recently, our bodies had never been celebrated. The thickness and the fact that you can still be beautiful when you're thick and having flesh in some parts of the body. So the media heavily influenced that, because the representation of our kind was rarely there. There's a certain type that was quoted and always highlighted as beautiful.
I once had the flattest belly in Uganda. Those who know me know. Those who don't know. Now I have a pot belly and I'm absolutely good with that. I don't really care, because this belly carried a child for 9 months. So I don't wake up in the morning and feel a certain way about, first of all, thickness comes with a big belly. So we either have skinny and no belly, or we've got thick and a pot belly. So I'm good. I've got no self-image issues at all.
At this point, I think the one I admire is the woman I put in my head, the more fit version of myself, because nowadays I got into like healthy eating and working out. I no longer covet a certain kind of body. I want to look as good as possible with myself, with my body, the body that I was given. So I covet the woman I wish I could become by following the things that I ought to follow for the betterness and goodness of me.
Thank you for watching Finding Your Balance. Thank you for following Forever Media channels. Continue to watch on all platforms. Very many beautiful shows already on and more coming. Gloria Kamikaze. Till next time.